POTS, Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome, POTS. I know you all have heard of POTS from Shannon's previous blog, but what is it really? I'm here to explain to you what POTS really is. POTS is prevalent in girls aged 14 to 20. They're usually tall and skinny, and are usually completely healthy until they get diagnosed with this syndrome. The thing is, this is so uncommon that hardly anyone knows what it is. So that's why we're here, to try to explain and to get people to understand how many people actually have to deal with this every day of their lives. Shannon has a disease that makes her heart go really, really fast. The reason that it does that is because her blood flow isn't exactly normal. In most people, there's a message from the brain to the blood vessels in the legs that tell them to constrict, so the blood will rise up through the legs into the stomach and brain and then back down again. This process is usually extremely simple in most people, but in people with POTS, it's a little more difficult. The message from the brain to the legs isn't exactly right. So the blood, instead of coming back up into the stomach and brain, pools in the feet. So there's nothing that they can do. The heart is pumping extra fast because it's trying to get more blood coming to the stomach and the brain, because those are very important places in your body. So basically what happens is that people that have this syndrome often feel nauseous, dizzy, they black out or gray out, they have sore hands and feet, and are basically not able to function the same way as everyone else. Now, the reason that this happens is actually unknown, and right now there isn't any cure. Sometimes it goes away once the person is 25 or so, but sometimes the person has to live with it for the rest of their lives. So it's a lot of hard work for the person with it, and they try their best to live as normal life as they can. But in a case like Shannon's, this sometimes isn't very easy. For example, going to school, a very normal part of life, is something that people with POTS are usually not able to do. Now, people with POTS have different severities. For example, some people only experience sore legs every now and then and are able to function just fine. And other people are very extreme and can barely get out of bed, let alone live a normal life. Diagnosing POTS is something that really isn't easy to do, because people with POTS look completely normal on the outside, and if you just saw them walking down the street, there is no way that you'd be able to tell if they had POTS or not. Also, when people run tests, a lot of the time the test can come out negative for anything wrong with them. So you really don't know if you have POTS unless you undergo. So a lot of times it just gets passed off as anxiety, or maybe food-related issues like allergies or something. You never really know unless you do something called a tilt table test. Basically what that is you're put on a table and set at about a 45-degree angle. You have to stay there for about 10 minutes. Now, with normal people, nothing would be the matter with them. But with people with POTS, the blood would rush to their legs so quickly that they'd either throw up, pass out, or both of them. Although POTS is very debilitating, Shannon tries to live her life as normal as she can, and she's still able to have a lot of fun. The end. The end.
POTS, take one.
Just keep it. You can fix it. Okay.
POTS, take one.
What's that?
POTS. Casey, you ruined our film!
Position.
POTS, take one. Oh my gosh, is that a talking dog? Is it on? Yeah. POTS. Okay, POTS, take like 1,059.
What's 59? Okay.
POTS.
POTS. Postural.
Wow, how are you going to get through it all when you can't even say the starting?
No, I know, it's just but in cases like Shannon, simply going to school is a...
Casey, you ruined our tape again!
You see, what happens usually is that the message from the brain to the legs isn't exactly right.
It's just like the movies I eat from the trees. If I do not open the curtains, then I cannot see. All the people run by, all the people